Greetings, fellow traders. Public here. It's time for the lunchtime market update for Monday, June the 14th, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, let's check and see where we are with the market here today. So SPX down here today, about 12 points right here, but still green on the monthly chart. Weekly chart, inside week, so kind of this narrow range, kind of tight, choppy stuff, and a double inside day here so far on the SPX on the intraday. So we're basically continuing this chop to the upside. Our big concern right here is this rising wedge or ending diagonal that we talked about last night, and that we've been showing here in our newsletter and with you guys here on these videos. That we may actually be finishing up this wave up here. We might be looking at potentially a more corrective wave. So we've got the Fed coming up on Wednesday, and what better time for the market to get weak is after Powell talks, right? So we'll see if we get any irritable Powell syndrome this week and where we go from there. Let's take a look at the SPY. So SPY here, guys, again, just obviously really choppy stuff. A lot of decreased volume right here too, right? So that's something to keep an eye on as well. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. So ES, let's take a look here. So back to the ADMA on this one. Let's take a look at the intraday price action. Again, we've been leaning bearish on this one all day. Things are starting to get a little bit extended here to the downside, but you can't ignore the increased volume on a couple of these down candles, right? So again, just a grinder on its way down today, but we've been generally overall bearish, and a lot of our strategies have capitalized on that today here for the group, and folks are doing well on that. MES, again, same thing right now. We're kind of channeling down, so it's a little bit tough to get a geometric line on that right here. But in the meantime, we'll say with the Qs, they did have some relative strength here this morning. And then pulled back a little bit, and again back to relative strength right here, as we've seen a couple names like Apple looking pretty strong today. Nvidia ended up having a little bit of a move. We'll take a look at these in a little bit here. The IWM, some relative weakness here. We lost the first geometric line. Let's see, it's holding the next geometric line right here. We put those in the bubble report this morning. XLF, again, a lot of relative weakness on this one. We were watching this one with a little bit of caution here going into today. We're like, okay, well, if they try to work their way up, maybe we're going to get a little bit of a run up into the Fed, and if they're going to raise rates, right, that maybe the XLF is looking forward to that, but they're actually running it down here before the Fed, so that's kind of interesting, something to keep an eye on here. So look at the VIX. That's obviously been perky here today, so definitely been on our radar. It's tough to go long when you see the VIX going like that. However, there are some names that have been relatively strong today. We've got Apple has been pretty good. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla here. So that had a good open, right? Nice strong move at the open, then kind of a sharp pullback here and kind of chopping around throughout the day. Others than that, AMD, guys, we offered this to you guys last night as a name that looked pretty good if we get increased volume below the levels, right? And of course, these levels make sense here. This is a good level right here, 80 points. We've got right next to our signal zone here this morning. So great job on AMD. Pretty good dip buy off of that one there too. And Nvidia got strong here today, ended up getting over its signal zone right here and popping above all-time highs again. So definitely another one to keep an eye on. Well, great stuff, guys. We got a few chart requests out there. So of course we got Bitcoin on the radar. Got over 40,000 for a little bit. Right, we actually had this triangle breakout. We drew that here this morning, so we had a nice breakout out of there, and then it's kind of pulling back there a little bit, right? So pretty interesting stuff there as well. Again, it's all about this gap and how it handles it, right? So we got a nice kind of push up here over the inside day. Now we'll see if that ends up getting faded and goes back below the UTL and possibly retest the 200-day moving average. So something to keep an eye on there. A couple other requests there. We've got a lot of folks like this one, the CLNE. So that got a nice inside day up here back into the clouds. Let's see if that gets any follow through. AMC, let's take a look. Another meme name here. Again, big inside day up on that one. That's huge. So a lot of this, we're seeing these meme names back up again. Could kind of weigh a little bit on the market here, but GME still with an inside day. Not a lot of action on this one. CLF. Now, this is kind of an interesting one here too. This is like a kind of not a traditional kind of meme name right here, but it did take the inside day down and pulling back to the ADMA right there. So possibly a short opportunity on that one. Workhorse, really choppy right here, guys. I'd say this is probably one to kind of leave alone at this point here. CRSR, but we'll see if maybe they get some good news with the post office or something. Corsair Gaming, this hit the squawk a few times today. Nice pop here out of this range, right? Gave a nice strong move here and kind of ended up turning into a rubber band type move back down. So interesting stuff there. A couple other ones. BB. So BB kind of hanging in there, not really a lot of strength on this one. And Tilray is typically one of those ones that, like we're seeing right here, gets a little bit of a pop and ends up coming back down, sort of like the VIX. Anyway, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate the request. I hope everybody's an awesome rest of the trading day today. We'll see you guys in the market wrap. And until then, stay healthy out there. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.